Okay, so I'm making a really simple sugar scrub here, and this is also a kind of clearing out your cupboards kind of recipe, as it were, because I'm using up a lot of odd bits of sugar, which is completely doable with this recipe. So first of all, in my jug here I've got a bit more than half a cup, a very generous half a cup of coconut oil. I'm just going to stick that in the microwave just to melt. And I'm going to sort out my sugars, so I'm just going to stick my 1 cup measure in the bowl so it catches anything that might fall out. So I only need 1 cup of sugar. Now I would normally do half of brown and half of white, but I've only got bits and pieces. This is kind of the end of the season for baking, so I'm using up as much of this as possible. So I basically want a cup of each, a cup of dark or brown sugar and a cup of white granulated sugar. You can use caster if you want to, but I find that's a bit too fine. So I'm essentially using up all the leftover sugar I've got from various crafting and cooking activities and baking I've done over the season. Should be able to get a cup out of that. And make sure that, particularly with the brown sugar, that you're packing it down, because this is more about a ratio than a measurement necessarily. So you can make this quite easily just using a stand mug, a teacup, just so you get the right ratios. So I don't suggest going out to buy really fancy sugar or anything for this. This bog standard baking brown sugar can do. I've got some light browns, some light muscovado and some dark muscovado here. It looks like I'm about done with the dark. So that one, this should be not quite there yet. Okay, so what I'm also adding here is some ground cinnamon. Now you can use essential oils and things like that if you want to. I find that cinnamon's a better exfoliant and it's good for your skin generally, and it adds a nice scent to it. With the amount of sugar in here, adding a fragrance oil may not work, so just bear that in mind. There you go. My coconut oil has been in the shed, so it is any squidginess it may have had has gone because it's sub-zero down there. So it's taking a little while to melt. If you've got the stuff that's more liquid at room temperature, you don't have to do this stage. But I do find it helps it to mix easier if it's melted. Okay. So my coconut oil is pretty much melted there. It's not hot, it doesn't take much heat or much energy to melt it. So I'm going to drop that one in. Lose half the oil. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this last bit of brown and muscovado in here. I won't do a lot of muscovado because it is very sticky, very dark. And I've still got recipes that require some, so just a little bit. What's that? That's a lump of pretty much solid molasses, so remove that one to make sure there's nothing else going on in that. And I'm going to add the rest of the cup granulated. As I said, this is less fine than caster sugar, so it works better in this. Should have gone for a bigger bowl, never mind. So that's that, and I want half a cup olive oil. Now use any oil you like. You just want a simple carrier oil. So olive oil works, sweet almond works, castor oil does work, but it tends to be a bit thick. So I measured that a little shy, so we'll see how that goes. Might need to add a splash more. So I'm just going to kind of damp down all the sugar, which is kind of the idea here. Because it's mostly oils, you're not going to be dissolving the sugar necessarily. You're just going to be kind of damping it. So I'm going to add a wee slugget of oil. Probably enough to top off the cup there, and then about 1, maybe 2 teaspoons, a generous amount, shall we say, of ground cinnamon. Now, if you've got it's called a Chinese cinnamon, it's casa bark. I think it's like cinnamon on steroids. It's super strong. That works even better in this. So I'm just going to work that through. Make sure I'm getting right to the bottom here so that everything is combined. Definitely should have used a bowl, not a jug. Never mind. So I've got a whole load of light sugar down the bottom here. This is a really easy one to make. As I said, you can vary the spice you want to use. This works quite well with a peppermint oil or something like that. You can put chilli in if you really want to. It will give you a definite glow. But if you're very sensitive of skin, I wouldn't suggest putting anything kind of spicy in. Okay, so I think that looks about right to me. Change to a large-ish spoon and just transport this into my jug, into my jar. Now this doesn't really have a shelf life as such. If your oil is old, there is a tendency for it possibly to go a little funny, go a little rancid. But that's only if your oil's been around for a long time. This is was a new bottle about 2 weeks ago, so it's not old oil. But I would suggest about 6 to 8 months start to finish on this stuff. And if you use it maybe once a week, then you'll get through it in a couple of months anyway. So just pressing that down to get rid of any air bubbles. I'll be quite generous with the filling here. Get pretty much to the top, because once this cools and sets a bit, the coconut oil will set it so it's somewhat firm. It's not going to be set solid because you'll never be able to get it out of the jar and use it. Just firm enough. So I like to be generous with the filling. And just wipe around screw thread, just so that there's no sugar going to get stuck there and stop it from opening. A quick wipe at the top as well, wasn't here. I've got enough for probably another pot, which means I've got to go down the shed and get one. So there is some cinnamon sugar scrub. That is a great exfoliant. It's generally good if you've got greasy skin. Use it everywhere except the private area essentially, and you'll find if you're shaving your legs, if you shave and then use some of this and then you can shave again, and you'll have the smoothest lady legs ever. So yeah, that is cinnamon sugar scrub.